News coverage of World War II inspired a dream in a local veteran to join the Marines, but World War II wouldn't be his only opportunity to serve his country. Here's KSN's Katie Tobby with tonight's Veteran Salute.
Joe Schmiedbauer saw combat not only during World War II, but also when he served in the Korean War. However, he never served with the Marines, even though he thought that was his dream.
They were my heroes, and I said, okay, I want to join the Marines.
So Joe Schmiedbauer's mom took him down to Oklahoma City to enlist. Joe passed every test except the eye exam. The Marines were a no-go, but Joe says he wanted to get in the fight, so he signed up for the Army instead before he finished high school. It wasn't until much later in life that Joe learned his dream of being a Marine was changed by a letter addressed to Joe, but hidden by his mother.
It said, hey, we'll take you, but she never told me. I was in Denver. She didn't write and tell me.
Joe realizes now that may have saved his life. Now in the Army, he trained for 4 months as a machine gunner before the Oklahoma boy would board a ship and head to the South Pacific.
Well, that's the first time. I hadn't even been on a train there, okay. Or even a bus, until I could join the Army, and that was quite interesting.
Joe says he saw enough combat in the Philippines to satisfy his curiosity.
I got to thinking about it later, yeah, because that's the first thing they wanted to knock out was the machine gun. But well, that's what I asked for, and I got what I asked for. This Asiatic Pacific liberation.
After 2.5 years, Joe returned home only to be called up again to fight another war.
When the Korean War broke out, they called me back in. And about 6 weeks after they called me in, although I'd been away for 5 years, I was on board ship heading for Korea.
Serving again as a machine gunner, Joe compared his Korean War experience with his time served in World War II.
It was worse in some respects. I think that mainly because it was so cold, you know, and minus 30 degrees that winter of 1551, and of course I was heat in the Philippines.
Joe says his return home the second time was different too.
Of course, World War II, everybody was gung-ho, and they was picking up stuff for salvage and metal and all that, and everybody was kicking in, whatever they, but Korean War, there was a lot going on that nobody knew about either.
After his second homecoming, Joe got married, had 4 kids, and moved to Wichita, where he worked for years at Vulcan Chemicals. Now he's a hobby vegetable gardener and plays a mean game of bridge. Here for you in Wichita, Katie Tobby, KSN News 3.
Tonight we salute Joe Schmiedbauer for his service during World War II and the Korean War.
The DeVaughn James Injury Lawyer is here with Staff Sergeant Joe Schmiedbauer, who served in both World War II and the Korean War and operated a .30 caliber machine gun. On behalf of all of Kansas, Joe, thank you for your service.
Well, thank you for the honor of coming down, and I felt it was my duty to serve the country.
Veteran Salute is sponsored by the DeVaughn James Injury Lawyers.